Country Craft Corner. How in the world are you guys doing today? I am doing fine today. I'm so excited to be here again, and I'm not even going to say which episode that this is in my 2017 Christmas Decor series because I made a mistake that one time, and I'm not going to do that here. So you'll see what episode this is. I'll flash it here. And you'll see in the description which episode this is. I'm doing so much, I can't keep myself straight, you guys. My day has been consisting of getting up in the morning, editing videos, getting them up, trying to get them up, doing whatever decorating I'm going to do that day, filming as I decorate, and then answering comments and trying to respond in the, for a time in the evening. I'm just bang, bang, bang. I'm just a very organized and busy lady over here. I am so grateful to you guys for coming back again and again to see what I'm up to. Honestly, I cannot tell you, I'm so touched. I'm so touched by all of your responses and the love that you're giving to me. I love you guys so much. It is amazing. Y'all are all amazing. But anyway, I'm coming to you today with one of my signature type pieces, and that will be the lantern centerpiece that's going to go right there between those two Christmas trees right there on the kitchen table. And that is all that will be in this video. This is probably all about all I'll be able to fit in this video. I'm going to be doing the arrangement on a tray, setting the lantern on the tray, and of course I will explain everything as I go here. And I'm also going to be making a funky bow lantern swag topper. So that's going to take me a little while, and I haven't done a Christmas one yet, so I'm excited, but I do. Check these out. Look at this. Oh, wait, come here. Oh, I'm going to use this, 2 of them, for the topper with a funky bow in the middle. And you can see by the berries here, this is going to be kind of a burgundy yet red. Burgundy and red, kind of. I'm using burgundy ribbon, actually, in the bow, in the funky bow. But as you can see, the burgundy in the bows, it's going to match perfectly. So anyway, another time I'm stepping out of my little box here a little bit, kind of combining two colors, kind of. But I figure if they do, this is one of the ones that will go around the bottom. If they do it in these sprays, why can't I do it in a bow, right? And combine the burgundy in the tablecloth with red and white and everything. But anyway, as I said, this is going to take me a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm trying to think. I did want to say one thing, and I don't have everybody's name listed here. You know what? Let me run and get my computer for a second. And I'm going to give you everyone that is going to be a part of the 2017 Christmas Home Tour collab. Miss Davita Lane is the one that had the initial idea back in the fall to do this collab, and we've gathered even more people this time around for our Christmas Home Tour collab, and hopefully we'll keep this tradition going as we move forward in time. So I will give you a list of the names, and so that you can be on the lookout for their channels. And then I am going to do kind of in the midst of all of my decorating here, I will do a standalone video that will just announce the participants and give links. But I think I'll go ahead and give links in this one too, just to give you all a heads up, because I am moving on along here, and I know this one might get lost in the shuffle of my videos, but I do want to go ahead and give you the names just so you can have an idea, and then I'll do the standalone video sometime in the next week or two. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my computer. To be on Friday, December the 1st, and mine will be going up fairly early in the morning, like I usually do when because I'll get mine done and schedule it out. So I'll have mine scheduled for about 7 a.m. that morning. So, but be on the lookout for all of the others on this list I'm going to give you here in about 2 seconds for their home tour collabs to come up. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. And I'm not going to be doing a home tour of my house. Of course, you all will have seen, you know, the decorations in the rooms and whatnot. But I'm going to do the all over home tour, starting at my mailbox, walking up the driveway, down the sidewalk. All my outdoor decor will be done by that point too. After Thanksgiving, I'll be doing that. So, but anyway, let me give you a list of these folks. I do not have my glasses, so I'm going to be squinting. I did not bring my glasses over here. All right, here we go. Davita Lane, obviously, is the very first one. Kim over there at Sweet Daisy Creations, my buddy Kim. The Restyler. Kim over there at My Feathered Nest. Hannah's Daily Life. Jean E. Southern Graces. R.J. Mailer. And My Fairy Treasures. Oh my goodness, how many is, and myself, and me. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of us. 10 of us. Oh my God. I am so excited about that home tour. That is going to be so much fun. So, but for now, I'm going to turn this camera, get it moved over there because I've got everything set up. My whole island is covered with stuff, you guys, for this craft. So I'm going to hush, because I know I'll be yammering over there when I'm doing this crap with you guys. So I'm gonna hush and I will be right back, and we're gonna get started on this lantern centerpiece. I can't wait. Be right back. Okie dokie, everybody. Here I am, I'm back. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of cleaning of my poor little lantern here. It got pretty dusty during the fall season, and I swear to goodness I have dusted it in the last month or so, but it looks like I haven't touched it. So needs a little help here before I start to make my new arrangement. And I always like to start out with a clean slate, you know, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and clean it up now. Looks like wax has gotten on there from the candle. All right, for those of you who have not seen me do one of my lantern centerpieces here, I want to take a moment to explain how I make them and why I do it the way I do it. Here's my tray. Before I go on cleaning my tray here, let me just say that normally, as those of you who saw my, pardon me, my cozy corner video the other day, heard me describe, in that one you heard me describe how I put together a cozy corner and how I use staple pieces, for lack of a better term, but pieces, staple pieces meaning pieces of my decor that remain the same throughout the year and throughout the season. I treat my lantern centerpieces in much the same way. I always have staple pieces that I use and reuse every time I make a centerpiece for my kitchen table, for instance. I have 2 of these lanterns. I bought them at a store over in Harrisonburg, Virginia called Country Treasures. Actually, I bought one over there and one at a local store, which doesn't carry them anymore. So, but I did see this lantern over in Harrisonburg last fall when we went over to that store. It does not, that store does not have a website, but if you're ever in the Harrisonburg, Virginia area, I highly recommend you go in there. This lantern stands without the handle up, 20 inches tall and 10 inches on each side. So it's a pretty good sized lantern. So that's one of my staple pieces for my lantern centerpiece for the kitchen table. The other one I have is in the dining room, and you will see that further on in the series here when I get out there to be doing the decor out in those 2 rooms. The other staple piece I use is this tray. And let me go ahead and clean this tray while I'm talking about it. I got this tray at Hobby Lobby, and I will measure it for you so you know exactly how big it is. It is a mirror tray, and I usually will put a placemat or something down in on top of this to help everything from sliding around, help everything to stay put. But this time I'm not going to worry about it because I actually want the mirror to shine through for the Christmas decor. So, let me measure this for you. It is 20 inches from side to side and 13 and almost 13 and a half inches, call it 13 and a half inches wide. So these, and then I normally will use one of these big 9-inch Luminara candles that you can put on a timer mode, and they come with remotes. And yes, these are very pricey, but I have had this, I've been using the same candle in this lantern for going on 3 years now, I think, when I first came up with how to do these lantern centerpieces for myself. So they last a long time, and it's worth every penny. Sometimes it is worth it if you are able to go ahead and bite the bullet and purchase like a little bit more expensive of a lantern. If you know you're going to be using it throughout the year, why not spend a little bit more money on a nicer, maybe bigger, more bolder lantern if you can, you know, and that way, you know, instead of buying 2 or 3 to go in the same place, you'll have one but can make it look different with your different accent pieces. So with all that said, I'm going to get started. I will not be using the Luminara candle in this design. Instead, let's start with the inside of this lantern. Instead, I'm going to be using this. And the reason I have it set up, I'm going to set it up like that actually. The reason I have it set up on that, like that, upside down like that, is to lift, is simply, it's no, you know, there's no big deal, no, you know, design reason why I did that, but so that you can see, so that those folks who are looking inside can see. Okay, first thing we're going to do is work on the inside of the lantern. So instead of using the big Luminara candle, I'm going to be using this snow globe candle. I got this from Lowe's last year, and yes, they do still have them this year. You can either set this to on, or you can set it to timer. If you set it to timer, set it at the same time of day you want it to come on every day, and it will come on and stay on, I believe it's for 5 or 6 hours. You can hear it too. It's not making any noise right now, but sometimes you can hear it. It kind of siphons on and off and gets those little sparklies going. And isn't that pretty? I just love that. And I am going to use this little candle holder just simply to lift it up a little bit inside the lantern so that we can lift the flame and the pretty snow globy part of it up above the decor that I'm going to have around the candle to add interest. Also, I made this candle ring out of a pipberry garland, P-I-P-B-E-R-R-Y, 2 words, pipberry garland, that you can get at the pipberrybarn.com. I will put a link in the description for you guys. Highly recommend them. But I just made this out of, from cutting off, I don't know, about a foot piece, probably. I don't know, I measured it around one candle one time. I don't remember how long the piece was, and then I just wired it together. You can see the green wire there from wired it together with floral wire and made a little candle ring like that. So I'm gonna just lift this whole little unit up and put it on in there like that, trying to make sure that it is centered and kind of fluffing out the pip berries a little bit. Probably should have done that before I put it in there. But that's okay because I also have, remember these? Who was it that told me that my cardinals were in the garage? Can't remember which one of you guys said that. You were right. They were in there, my little red cardinals that I usually have here in this centerpiece on my table. I decided to use those snowflakes instead, but I thought how cute would it be to nestle a couple of these fellas. Put some of the pip berries up so he doesn't fall over inside there when I carry it. Into the lantern here. May even put one inside of it like that too. Looking out the side or something, just for a little interest in there. Also realize the reason I use a tray for this is so that I can pick up the lantern and move it when we eat there, or if somebody needs to do a project over on the table or whatever. I will go ahead and put one like that too, looking out the back, because you're going to be able to see this from all four sides. And maybe I'll just nestle this dude down here, looking out on the side. I can't really put those two back as, maybe I can get him back in that other corner. Get over there, buddy. There we go. I kind of wanted to utilize these dudes. I thought they'd be cute. I'm just sitting in there looking out the side like that. All right, there we go. Put my paper towels back in a little Ziploc bag, and they'll probably get used in this arrangement after Christmas. I probably won't even need this again, so I'm actually going to throw this away. All right. So there we go with the inside. I also have a few little berry picks and red berries and burgundy berries. As you can see, the tablecloth over there, I don't know whether you can see it, is a burgundy and white. So I am utilizing a lot of burgundy in this decor. Also, though, I'm adding in some red, some true red. So because these are the flowers I'm going to be using, not flowers, but berries I'm going to be using. And as you can see, they are a bright red, but there's also darker burgundy berries in there too. So I'm going to go ahead and try to add some of these in here as well. Just to add a little bit of the burgundy on the inside too. Got the red and the pip berries, so I'm going to just add some burgundy in there. That's all I have here. I might have to find another piece later and put it in the back. Oh wait, no, here I do. I thought I did. I thought I was going crazy here, you guys. Goodness gracious, sorry. See if I can get it toward the back without knocking everything over. All right, so that does it for the inside of the lantern. Candle centered. All right, close this up then. The first thing we're going to do is work on the lower part, the lower decor around the bottom. So let me get this. You set the lantern right smack in the middle of the mirror. And as I said, I normally will put a placemat or something down on the mirror, but I'm not by design this time because I really want to maybe see that mirror shining up through. All right, first thing I always put on any lantern centerpiece that I'm doing is some kind of pipberry garland usually, because it helps to hold the decor up a little bit. It also gives more interest, adds color. I don't know why I do it. Again, I'm not educated in home design or crafting, to be honest with you. Everything that I do, I pretty much learned by myself. So I always use something like this though, just to help bump up the decor underneath. Something that will help hold it up. I'm gonna make sure that I have that lantern centered in a minute here. And one time I did, just this last fall, I did 6 inches. I did a whole centerpiece and didn't have it centered. Was that something or not? 6 inches, there we go. I'm centered. So, the next thing I do with my lantern centerpieces, or most of them anyway, is what I call anchor my corners. I don't know why I do it. I don't know I do not know what got me started doing it. Where's my scissors? There they are. But it is something that I like to do. And yes, these are Christmas ornaments, but look at them. They're cardinals, and look, they're not only bright red, but they also, I don't know whether you can see that or not, but they also kind of go dark. So you kind of pulls in the red and the burgundy again, and with their dark face, you know, that helps. So I'm just going to sit these little dudes, kind of put their tails, or their feathers, tail feathers, in the pipberry, kind of right up against the pipberry. Hopefully this is going to work. And kind of, I'm going to actually snug his feet so he'll stay put. I put one of his little, not his feet, but I put like this, the edge of this, right in the crook of the mirror so that he'll stay still. And that will disappear, I think, once we get the portion that holds it on the tree, the little loop. I think that will disappear once I get everything else put together and added in. So I'm going to put one of these little fellas in every corner. Here we go. All right, next thing are these big, beautiful picks. So I know I have one going this way. I think I did anyway. I'm going to try it. And one in the back. I kind of make sure that they're kind of all pointing the same direction as I put them in here. And then, actually I think this one goes in the back. Sorry. This one comes around the other side. And then I have one kind of finishes off the front here. In years past, I have used this Merry Christmas sign here on the front. Let me see if I can snug him down in here. I don't know whether this is going to work with these cardinals though. And I'd rather have the cardinals than the sign. There we go. Got him down in there. Hold him steady in there. There we go. And he looks like he's still okay. So I think that's gonna work. Yay! Now I'll put this up in here. There we go. I love it. Admittedly, that makes it a little bit more difficult to get into that candle if you want to turn it off or change batteries, but because I make it, I can remake it, so it's okay. All right, so there we go. There's a couple more things I have. Can you believe it? I have even more to put in and around. Found these lovely white poinsettias, and they're almost like a plastic with silver, with like a silver edging to them. One goes here, and one goes on either side. That is the bottom. Now it's time to make a funky bow swag for the top. So let me find a space to move this thing. Okie dokie, I'm back. As you can see here, I have a set of fairy lights sitting here too. I'm going to wrap that around my centerpiece after I'm finished. So these are just sitting here though, on and kind of blinking on and off. And here's the remote. I'll give you a link in the description for these magic fairy lights. I love them. All right, so time for a funky bow. First thing I did was to pick my colors. Now as you can see, I think these colors are gonna go beautifully with this. So I'm going to make a big funky bow this time. So that means the first thing I need to do is cut 3 30-inch pieces of each type of ribbon. There's one. Two. And 3. Then I want to dovetail the ends. And I normally cut these things down a little bit, the tails down, but I may not. So I want to go ahead and do the dovetail right now as I'm cutting the ribbons. That way, if I don't, most of them will be dovetailed. Or no, that way they'll all be dovetailed, and if I don't cut them, I won't have to go back and cut them once the bow is made, because that is not fun to do. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Not fun. There we go. As you saw, I folded it lengthwise in half, and I always start at the edge and cut up at an angle. A lot of people cut from the fold. Doesn't matter. Both ways work. There's not a right or wrong way to do it. All right. Here we go. I very well might speed through some of this cutting. That way I won't bore you to tears again as I'm cutting. Okie dokie, there we go. I have it all pieces cut and dovetailed. So first thing I want to make it, I want to have 10-inch tails and a 5-inch loop on every one of these that I do. So I'm going to go to 10 on my board here, 10 inches, then 20 inches, pull it together, pinch it, make sure I have a 5-inch loop, and there's my first loop. Now you come under here and you twist to bring the right side up. I'm thinking you guys have seen me do this about 50 times now in this in this series, but just in case somebody hasn't, I'll go ahead and do this all the way through here. I turn the next one the opposite direction, pinch it together. This is thick ribbon. As you can see, this is one-sided ribbon. So this is a good example. So to twist it and bring that front side forward, because well, it's hard to explain, but you'll see why. All right, next one, 10, 20. Turn it the other direction again, alternating each one. And again, we need to twist that back one to bring the right side to the front. And there we go. We have first 3 loops of our funky bow. And we just continue on in the same manner all the way through. We go again, 10, 20. I'm going to try to loop this one up a little bit because there we go. It doesn't always want to cooperate. This way with this loop. Y'all ask me every time somebody asks me, there's Sam, that is Sam Birkin in the background. If I pile these up on top of one another, when I pinch them together, and I kind of try to do that, but honestly, they end up just in a jumble in between my fingers there. So however they land, you guys. It's okay. It's gonna work out, I promise, every time. Okay, 10, 20. Here we go. Back up this way again. This is thick ribbon. And my hand is starting to cramp, so I'm gonna boogie on along here a little bit. Go a little quicker. 10, 20. I should get Chris, he's an engineer, you know, to make something that will help those of us who have troubles holding on to things like this. Hang on to bows a little bit better while we're making them, huh? Because my hand is screaming at me. Of course, I've been doing a lot of crafting in the last week or so, as you all know. So that's probably why. It doesn't usually hurt this bad. It's hurting pretty bad now, though. Two more. Woohoo! I encourage you guys to try one of these bows. They are so much fun to make. Well, sometimes they're not so much fun when your hand is cramping. But let's put it this way, they're fun to look at after you're finished making them. They're not hard to make at all. Don't take me wrong there. They're not hard, difficult, but they're just, it hurts to hold on to all this ribbon. Especially when you have tails flying in your way too there. And one more. And there, twist this around. We go. Get yourself a pipe cleaner, have a white one here. Put it right across the middle, under your thumb, if you can lift it and move it, and pull it around to the back. And use the hand that you've been holding the bow with as resistance. Pull the 2 pieces of the pipe cleaner and twist. And shake that hand. Goodness gracious. But boy, I think this is going to be pretty. the next thing, I always say the next thing to do is to fluff, but I'm not going to say that on this one. Yes, it's important to fluff, and I will be doing my share of fluffing, but I am going to be attaching, that one got a little big for my taste, attaching some other picks and flowers to this, and I want to get that attached to this first before I do too much work on the bow, because it's just going to smush it if I don't. I'm going to turn the bow over, and I'm going to use, look at these things, these two picks turned opposite of one another, and it looks like I'm going to need to cut them down just a little bit. My snippers. These are so thick. Oh, goodness. Measure how far I did that one. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Got to be strong to do that. Even with these snippers, which are great, I'll give you a link in the description for these. These are phenomenal. For those of you who have weaker hands, have arthritis, these work so much better than normal snips, I call them, but I highly recommend these. Got them from Home Depot. I'll give you a link. Not expensive, but save so much of my energy. Okay, I've got myself some tie wraps. And I'm going to make sure that these, I'm going to put them together end for end. But the important thing is to make sure, remember that I'm going to be putting them on the back of this bow. So I need them to be facing the same direction. Then you can tie them on the bow, however. But try to make it so that they're facing like that, the same direction. And picture your bow. I think they need to be a little closer to one another. The bow and on top of the lantern. And that bow is pretty big. And this is going to be bent over, kind of. So I think that will work pretty well. So take your tie wrap and tie these puppies together, which again, when you only have two hands, can prove to be a little bit of a challenge. There we go. But once you get one done, now I want to take my bow and use the pipe cleaner to tie the bow onto the center. You know what? I want to bring my lantern back over here because I need to work with it too. You know what I'm going to do, you guys? I know these pine cones are going to get in my way. I need to glue them back on. I can, but for now I'm snipping these pine cones off because I can tell that they're going to get in my way as I'm trying to get this bow attached. So that is the back. So there we go. Now, you know what else I need to do? I need to cut a piece of material. I'm going to use this and snug that down into the back too. And this is what I will use to tie the whole thing onto the lantern. Twisting that pipe cleaner around it. I'll leave that pipe cleaner alone. You never know if I might want to add something to this. All right, so now we're gonna tie this on, and don't worry about how it looks there right at the moment. I will work with that when I get around. Again, I'm going to just tie a pretty bow back here because as you'll see, it kind of all blends in together. What did I do? I picked the thickest, most difficult ribbon to work with. But I did that on purpose. Of course, I'm struggling with it now. I'm just tying just a regular bow like you would on your sneaker. Okay, all I have to do when I want to take this whole thing off is untie it. Here we go. There we go. All right. I am going to turn this around here and we'll start messing with this, the front of this bow, and see if I can pull this all together. And I will probably speed on through this a bit, because all I'm really doing is pulling the loops up and making them big and bold and pretty. A piece of berries here that looks burgundy, very burgundy. I think I'm going to get my hot glue gun plugged in, and I think I will nestle that right down in there, like that. The glue gun is heated up. I'll glue that little piece in there, and then I'll come back with some final words, because I don't even have to do anything with this stuff, you guys. Not one thing. I'm going to leave it alone. I did twist this one a little bit because it got twisted when I put it on, but I'm not even going to do anything with it. It looks beautiful just like that, and I will show you the whole thing. I know it's hard to see the whole thing right now. Let me see if I can pull it back. There we go. It's a beast. What can I say? But man, oh man, what a statement, huh? Big, bold, and dare I say beautiful. I really think it is. Wow. Hang on. I'm back. Guess what I forgot to do? My hot glue gun is, like, it's like the 5 seconds after I turned this off, walked around the counter and found my fairy lights. So I'm just going to see if I can snug the battery pack down in there, and then hide that little bit of wire that doesn't have any lights on it. And then I'm just going to weave these around. You know what Chris just taught me a little while back? I don't need as long of a strand as I'm provided here, as they've given me here. And you know what? I am thinking I need to be able to get into that candle a little easier than if I keep wrapping these lights around. I'm not going to be able to. So he's taught me that if I go on the opposite side of one of these little lights, in other words, a side that's furthest away from the battery pack, that I can trim these little lights right up against the light and they will still work. And look at that. He was right. So I wrapped it around twice. I think with the candle inside, I think that's plenty. And as these lights, these fairy lights are so well priced that it's almost cheaper to do something like that than it is to go and buy you know, a set of lights that would perfectly fit on this. So I was grateful for that little hint from Chris. Again, I need to get back from it. When you see it next, it might have had a little bit of a haircut. We'll see. Okay, everybody, I'm back for some final words here. And boy, did my bow get a haircut. It was crazy, and it needed to be tamed down a little bit. I'll tell you what else I did. Let me move a little closer to you. What else I did with this bow is I positioned it so that the burgundy part of the bow is more toward the back of the bow and is serving more as a backdrop. It was a little bit too loud for my taste in this bow, so I kind of positioned the burgundy and the white a little forward, if that makes sense. But I cut down all the tails. They were just crazily about, going crazy. So I couldn't leave it like that. I just couldn't. It was too crazy. Anyway, I'm going to try to lift this up for you very quickly to give you a little closer look at it. And then I'll have Chris carry it over to the table for me because it is really heavy. So be aware of that. If you guys ever do go to make one of these, just try not to make it quite as heavy as I made mine. Not sure what's making it so heavy. I guess everything. It's just got a lot in it. So here we go. Try to bring it closer to that bow. There you go. And there's that candle just a zipping along in there. And the fairy lights and the cardinals inside. And I've got to put it down. Whew. But I'll do a video. I'll do a 360 video with my ending music. How about that? Over there on the table. So I'm going to close this one out. Now you can see why I only could have this one thing in this video. And I'm super happy with it. Super happy with it. I was really looking forward to making this, to bring it together with those Christmas trees and the tablecloth and everything. Can't wait to take a picture of it all together. So, all right. I don't know what's up next. I really don't. So we'll figure it out together, and that's a wrap for this one. So I will just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.